Every 2 years for the last decade, immigration dominates an Arizona election, even when you don't think it will. Voters have also pushed education to the top of the list of key issues. So will 2018 be any different? Of course, looming over every Republican candidate, President Trump, especially on immigration. Congress faces a March deadline to renew the DACA program that protects hundreds of thousands of so-called dreamers nationwide from deportation. There was a chance Congress was going to fix it in December. That is not happening. Does anybody believe a Republican-controlled Congress, Republican White House is going to do anything about the dreamers in an election year? Speak up now, forever hold your peace. Lisa.
I think they have to, or they are going to be facing great repercussions on that. This is a huge issue, not only for the Latino voters, for young voters, and really, I don't think this is much of a partisan issue. These kids, this is their home. I think probably everyone on this panel knows at least one dreamer. This is their home. They've known no other home, and it is sad that this is such a politicized issue, but if they don't do anything about it, they will be hearing about it in the election.
I'm going to repeat. Election year, Republicans. President Trump has a big claim to having secured the border. Arrests are down. Deportations are way up. Christine, do you see this coming out of a Republican-controlled Congress?
Sure, and the reason is because despite how Democrats want to paint him, Trump isn't all that conservative on this issue. He's actually a compassionate guy when it comes to the dreamers. He's spoken very favorably about doing something to protect their status, although it probably doesn't lead to citizenship. So I think it's very possible you could hear about this, particularly if this swing that you guys are talking about, and I'm feeling a little outnumbered here, but if this is a wave and the Republicans have to do something to keep the crossover votes from jumping, you know, sort of the frogs in the barrel problem, then yeah, it could be a very real issue. And you know, look, our state government has done an excellent job of establishing a relationship with the neighboring state of Sonora and the country of Mexico. This is a great time in Arizona for us to get real and talk about this as a human rights issue as opposed to a politically divisive issue. So it really could actually make some progress.
That would be one of the biggest stories of 2018 if that happened. I want to flip to education now. So the school voucher, grassroots movement to put this school voucher expansion on the ballot in 2018. They would block the expansion of school vouchers that allow parents to use the taxpayer money for private or parochial schools. Chris, if that stays on the ballot, how does Doug Ducey deal with that? This was his pet initiative.
Well, it won't stay on the ballot, in my opinion. I think SOS Arizona has won because I think the Republican legislature and Doug Ducey will go into legislative session and will simply eliminate the voucher statute completely. And the SOS people can claim victory, and we will have, thank heavens, no voucher statute on the enactment because they don't want it on the ballot. So I think that will go away.
A judge might also say, toss it out.
That's
in
possible.
Court right now.
Yeah. I think the huge issue is going to be an increase in taxes to put back $1 billion into K through 12 that was lost during the recession. Governor Ducey's press office is making it very clear. They did so just this past week. And that is, the governor supports renewing Prop 301, but no new taxes. Steve Farley, running for governor, won't even embrace any new taxes. The only gubernatorial candidate thus far that's doing that is David Garcia, because he very clearly states correctly, if you don't support a new sales tax or corporate tax or whatever to generate that new $1 billion for K through 12, you're endorsing the status quo, you're endorsing a horrible teacher shortage and an underfunded public education system.
Christine, respond, please.
Well, okay, I might look at this a tiny bit differently. Whether the ballot proposition makes it to the ballot is the gating issue here, but let's assume for purposes of discussion that it does. I think it becomes probably the race to watch. It's probably the single closest race for us because there will be an enormous amount of national money coming in to try to back up the vouchers, because Arizona has always been on the forefront of leading school choice and school reform and all of the things that Arizona has been really great at. But we also have this incredible groundswell of grassroots effort among teachers and parents who say, no, we want to do this right. So I actually think that's the horse race to watch, particularly if Doug gets out ahead of it and becomes its spokesperson. On the increase, I think that waits until 2 years hence.
2020 is where
Because
it's going.
because the governor's office does not want to miss the opportunity for
You're
that.
telling teachers wait 3 more years.
I'm not telling
3
teachers.
more years.
I'm married to a
before,
teacher.
Before they deal with their salary problem.
Okay.
Pathetic.
I'm not
The
telling them.
persuasion, the motivation, how big a deal is this teacher group? Because I have to say, I think that they are one of the biggest stories of the year, this grassroots group, getting this on the ballot. Nobody expected
They
that.
absolutely are, and they've worked so hard, and they deserve everything that, if they get this on the ballot, or if they don't, it is a victory for them, 100% for sure. But going back to, what I already stated, which is it's not just a turnout thing, it's a persuasion thing. We have moderate Republicans, independent voters who care about education, and this is going to be one of the many driving forces that is going to be persuading them to vote for
All right.
education.
Great discussion.